Hello and welcome to my channel, Distinctive Crochet. My name is Priscilla and today we're going to be making this beautiful bun catcher headband that I'm wearing. So to start off with the tutorial, we'll begin in the back with the bun catcher. We'll work in continuous rounds, and then once we have that part complete, next we'll be on to the headband part. So this is actually connected right to the headband. And I'll show you guys how to do that in the tutorial. Once we have that in position, we'll go ahead and begin our cable stitches. And if you're new to cables, don't worry about it. I'll take you through nice and slow. Once you get the hang of it, it's very easy and it'll work up in no time. So once you have the length that you need to fit your head size, all we're going to do is just attach our button. So pretty much you just need like a medium regular size button. Just nothing too big because you want to make sure it can fit through the hole, but you don't want it too small either because you don't want it to just go through the hole either. But mostly a regular size button should fit pretty nice. So once we have that in place, we'll weave in our ends and you'll be all set to wear your bun catcher headband. Okay guys, so I'm going to take you into the next clip, and then after that we'll get started with the tutorial.
Okay, for this tutorial we will need 2 stitch markers. I'm using a contrasting piece of yarn as well as a paper clip. We'll need a yarn needle to weave in our ends. You'll also need a needle small enough to sew on your button. You'll need a 6mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, measuring tape, some worsted weight yarn. I'm using the DIY yarn, and you need about 60 to 80 yards of it. Also, you'll need a button, and I'm using this, I'll be choosing mine out of this package of buttons here, and this is what the package looks like in the front, and I had purchased this from Michael's. It's got some really fun buttons in it, so I just wanted to jazz mine up with a fun button, but you could use whatever you have on hand. Alright, so we've made it to our size chart. So the first column talks about the head circumference in inches. So if you took your measuring tape and measured your head around, if you're 19 to 20 inches, you'll be the small. The 21 to 22 would be medium, and the 23 inches would be the large. And the next column talks about the length to make your headband. So when you're working those cable stitches, you want to make sure that it measures to the length that you, for the size that you have chosen, also, as well as the amount of yarn needed, approximately according to the size you'll be making. Now guys, if your hair is a little bit thicker, or if you have braids or locks, you could totally make your bun catcher a little bit larger by just adding a few more increasing rounds, and you just want to make sure you're increasing at a rate of 9 stitches per round. So that is, if you're at the 36, the next round should be 45, and so on from there, in multiples of 9. And also you want to make sure that you decrease accordingly as well, so that it can snug up your hair in the back, where everything fits in there nice and neat. And the last thing I wanted to mention is that if you do make it wider, you want to take into consideration and measure how wide the bun catcher is, so that you'll know the length to make your headband, because it needs, in total with the bun catcher and the length, it needs to be 2 inches less than your head circumference, so that the headband fits nice and snug. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will answer best as I can. Thank you so much. Now let's get on with the tutorial. Alright, to get started with the tutorial, the first thing we're going to need to do is make an adjustable ring. So we're going to go ahead and lay the yarn over our fingers, over 2 fingers. We'll wrap it around once, and then we'll wrap it around one more, crossing it over. We'll go ahead and flip our fingers over, pick up our hook, insert the hook under the first loop, grab the working yarn with the hook, pull it through, pinch all of that, drop that tail, pick up your working yarn as if you're ready to crochet and tension it up. Then go ahead and make a chain to lock that in place. You can insert 2 fingers to make it easier to work your stitches. Now we're going to go ahead and work 9 half double crochets. So we'll just yarn over, Insert our hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 to make the half double. So we're going to do 8 more of those. So here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now we have a total of 9 half double crochets. We're just going to use our tail to pull it close. And now we need to grab a stitch marker and put it right in between there. I'm just using the contrasting piece of yarn for the stitch marker here, and just lay it right in between those 2 stitches. Okay, so I'm going to pick up my yarn. Okay, so I'll get my working yarn, move this tail out of the way. Alright, so now we're going to working in the 3rd loop. So here's the front loop, here's the back loop, and then if you twist it this way, there's the 3rd loop right there. So we're going to work a half double crochet into that 3rd loop. We're not going to be joining, we'll be working in a spiral. So we'll yarn over and insert into the 3rd loop. If you tilt it, it's really easy to find. So there it is there. So we'll go right into that 3rd loop, and we're going to work 2 half double crochets into each stitch around for our increase. So here's our first one. Oops. Alright, so there's our second one right into the same stitch. And we're going to be putting 2 into each 3rd loop all the way around. So there's the 3rd loop there. So I just need to put 2 stitches in this one. It's really easier to see if you tilt it a little bit forward towards you. And there's the 3rd loop right there. So we're just going to keep putting 2 of half double crochets into each of those 3rd loops all the way around. So by the end of this round, we shall have 18 stitches. And once you have found that 3rd loop, it goes pretty easy, guys. It's really easy to find and work into once you can identify each of those loops. Okay, I'm coming up on my last one. I'm just going to put 2 more into there. Alright, so now we have 18 stitches. So this time we're going to be 2 into the first one. So find your 3rd loop. Here's the front, and then there's the 3rd loop right there. So put 2 into this one. And now for the next one, we're going to put 1 into the next stitch. So there's the 3rd loop. We'll put 1 half double into that stitch, and then 2 into the next. One into the next stitch. And so we'll have a total of 27 after this round. So 2 in here, 1 in here, and we'll just keep repeating the pattern all the way around. So here's 2 in that one, and now 1 in this one, then 2, and then 1, and then 2, 1, and then 2, all the way around. And I'll meet you back when I get to my stitch marker. You should have 27 stitches. Alright, so I made it back around, so I just have this last stitch to go, and I'm just putting 1 more in there, and now I have a total of 27 stitches here. So now we're going to go ahead and continue for our next round. So find that 3rd loop, just twist it, and then there you have it right there. So I'm going right into that third loop, and I'm going to start off with 2 half doubles right into that first one. Okay, so now we'll do 1 half double into the next 2 stitches, and then we'll put 2 into the next one, and then we'll put 1 in each of the next 2, and then we'll put 2 into the next one. And this is going to be our last increase round. By the end of this round, we'll have 36 stitches total. So we'll put 2 in the next one, and then 1, 2, and then increase, and then put 1 in each of the next 2, all the way around. So after we do that, we should have 36 stitches. So follow that pattern around, and I'll meet you back. Alright, and I made it back around, so I'm on my last stitch here. So I'm just going to put 1 into this stitch here, and I'm going to flip my stitch marker to the back. So now we're just going to work 1 half double into each loop around, so that we'll have 36 stitches, and we'll just keep putting 1 in each stitch all the way around. And then that'll allow the fabric to build up, and that'll give us space to put our bun, so it'll just curve around a little bit, and then that way we'll be able to fit our bun on the inside. So just go ahead and put 1 stitch in each all the way around, and then you want to do that for 3 rounds, and I'll meet you back when I have mine. Alright, so I made it back around, and I'm just going to put my last one. Alright, so now we're going to be doing our decrease round. In order to decrease, we need to yarn over. Oops, hold on one second. Let me see where. Okay, here we go. Yarn over, insert the hook into the third loop, pull it up, yarn over, insert into the next loop, pull up a loop, and now we have 5 loops on our hook. We'll yarn over and pull through all 5. And so that is how you decrease. And now we're going to put 1 into each of the next 2 stitches in that third loop. And now we're going to go and do another decrease. So pull up in each of those 2 stitches and then pull through all 5. So we'll half double in the next 2 stitches. We'll yarn over and pull up, yarn over and pull up, yarn over and pull through all 5 for that decrease. And we'll just continue that pattern all the way around. So I'll meet you when I come back. So half double into the next 2, and then decrease over the next 2. Half double on the next 2, and then decrease over the next 2, all the way around. So you should have 27 stitches at the end of this round, and I'll meet you back when I have mine. Alright, so I made a mid back around. I just have 1 more stitch to go. Now I'm just going to flip my stitch marker to the back. So now we have 27 stitches at this point, and we're going to do 1 more round of decreases. So just go ahead into that first stitch in the third loop, pull up a loop, go right into the next one, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 5. And now we're just going to half double into the third loop of the next stitch, and now we're going to do another decrease. So pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 5. And just repeat that pattern all the way around. So 1 half double and then decrease, 1 half double and then decrease, 1 half double and then decrease, all the way around. You should have 18 stitches after that when you're done, and I'll meet you back when I have mine. I made it back around. I'm just going to put in my last stitch here. So So this is what it looks like so far. You can put your catcher bun right in here. And now we're going to be working on the headband part. So the next step is to go ahead and slip stitch over 6 stitches. So just go right into that back loop. And at this point you don't really need your stitch marker, so once you make that first slip stitch you can just go ahead and pull it out. So that was 1 slip stitch, so now here's number 2. And this is just the back loop, not the third loop, guys, just the back loop of the stitch. So here's 4, here is 5, and here is number 6. Alright, so now we're just going to chain up 3, and we'll double crochet in the next 5 stitches right in the top of the stitch. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and turn our work. We'll chain up 2, and then we'll go ahead and do back post double crochet. So you're just going to, hold on one second. It's hard for me to see through this camera. Hold on one second. Alright, so we're going to insert our hook in between those stitches. So we're going to be going from the back of our work. You can hold that yarn over down if you need to. So right in from the back, in between the stitches, push the post to the back. You're going to grab your working yarn and pull it up to pull up that loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, and you'll finish off your double crochet, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So that's how you do the back post. So you yarn over, insert your hook from behind the work, go in between your stitches, push that post to the front, to the back, yarn over and pull up that loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Oops. All right, yarn over, insert your hook from the back to the front, pop that post to the back, yarn over and pull up that loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so here's our last back post. So in between, pop that post to the back, yarn over and pull up that loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. For this last chain 3, we want to make sure we go a half double into the top of that chain 3. So there's 1, 2, and 3. So right into the top of that chain, we're going to put a half double crochet. So just yarn over and pull through all 3. Alright, so now we're going to turn, and we'll chain up 1, we'll yarn over and put a half double right into the same stitch. And now we're going to start our cable, so we'll be using our treble crochets. So we're going to be skipping the first 2 stitches, skip this one and skip stitch 2. Here's the 3rd stitch. So this is the one we're going to go around. So we're going to yarn over twice for our treble crochet. You can hold those loops down with your finger. We'll skip the 2 stitches. We're going to wrap our hook around the post. So from the front to the back and around that post, and then back up through the front, we'll yarn over and pull up that loop. We'll yarn over and pull through 2, 3 times. So here's the first one, here's the second one, and here's the third pull through 2. So that's how we do our treble front post. So now we're going to go in the very next stitch. We'll yarn over twice. We'll insert our hook to the back and then back to the front around that post. We'll yarn over and pull up a loop. We'll yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Now we have to come back and get these 2 stitches here. So we're going to get the very first one here. So we'll be working that one first and then we'll do the next one. So we're going to yarn over twice and work around that post there. So yarn over twice, bring it around, insert from the front to the back around that post, grab your yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And now we're going to go ahead and get this last stitch here. So we'll yarn over twice. We're going to insert our hook to the back around that post to the front, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Now to lock it in place, we're going to go ahead and find that half double crochet, which is right here, and we'll work a half double right into the top of that stitch. So go right in there and just work a half double crochet, and that'll lock that cable in place. So here's what our first cable looks like. So now we're just going to go ahead and turn our work. And let me put this yarn to the back of my hook. We'll chain 1. We'll half double crochet right into the top of the same stitch. And so on the front we were crossing our cables, working them out of order. So now we're at the back and we're going to uncross them. So we're going to be working them right in order, and we'll be working back post double crochets. So we'll yarn over, insert our hook from the back of our work to the front. We'll go around that post, pull up the loop, pull through 2, and then pull through 2. So now we're going to go to the very next stitch, yarn over, go from the back of your work to the front, then go back to the back. Oops. So go right around that post there, stitch there, and we'll pull up a loop and pull through 2 and pull through 2. So we're going to go to the very next stitch. We'll yarn over, insert our hook from the back of our work, and now we're going to pop that post to the back, and then we'll grab our yarn, bring it around, we'll yarn over and pull through 2 and yarn over and pull through 2. So there's the next stitch. We need to yarn over, insert our hook from the back of our work to the front, pop that post to the back, we'll bring that yarn around, pull it up, and then we'll yarn over and pull through 2 and yarn over and pull through 2. So here's the last stitch. So we're going to just do a half double right into the top of that last stitch. If you need to place a stitch marker there to find it easier, you can definitely do that, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. So just do a half double right into the top of that stitch, and we'll turn our work. So there's what it looks like so far. Now we'll chain 1 and half double right into the top of the same stitch. So let me show you how to place a stitch marker here so that you can find it a little bit easier. So that's what it looks like, and that's where you want to go into when you come back around. So sometimes it can be hard to see, and if you need to mark it, go ahead. I'm using a paper clip to mark mine, but you can use whatever stitch marker you have on hand. So just make sure you put it at the top of that stitch, and then it'll be easy for you to see when you come back around. So we're going to skip these first 2, and then we'll work these 2. So we're going to front post treble around those 2. So we need to yarn over twice. We'll insert our hook from the front to the back around that post, coming back to the front to grab our yarn. We'll pull up a loop. We'll yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. We'll yarn over twice, insert our hook from the front to the back around the front, and then grab that yarn and pull through 2 3 times for that treble crochet. So now we're going to come back and get these two and work the very first one. So yarn over twice, insert your hook from the front to the back around that post, grab your working yarn and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So now don't forget this one here. We're going to yarn over twice, insert our hook from the front to the back and bring it to the front to grab our yarn and pull over 2 3 times. So now we're going to do our half double crochet and lock it in place right into the top of that stitch. Alright, so now we're just going to go ahead and turn. We'll chain up 1, we'll yarn over and do a half double in the same stitch, and now we'll uncross our cables. So yarn over and we're going to do back post double crochet and pick up this stitch here. So from the back of the work to the front, pop that post to the back, grab that yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, go to the very next stitch right there. So we're going to go from the back to the front and pop that stitch to the back, pull up that yarn, grab through 2 and pull through 2. We yarn over, pop that stitch to the back, pull up that loop and pull through 2, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook from the back to the front, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we just have to do this half double, and you can see it really easily since we have the stitch marker right there, and put the half double right into that top of that stitch there. And now we're going to turn our work, and then we'll keep going in the same way. If you need your stitch marker though, you want to make sure you move it up. I'm not going to be using mine, so I'm just going to leave mine where it is. So just chain 1 and you do a half double in the same stitch. And now we need to do the crossing of the cables. So we'll skip the first 2 and then we'll work this one and then this one. And then we'll come back and get this first one and then that second one. And then you uncross them in the back. And you'll keep repeating those 2 rows until you get to the length that you need according to the size chart. So all you're going to do is just keep working those 2 rows, and once you get that done, just come back to the video and I'll show you what to do next. Alright, so I made it back. So this is what it looks like so far. So let me show you what it measures to be. So I did the one for the medium size. So mine is going to measure at 16 inches. And as you can see with the bun catcher, it's about 3 inches, so that gives me 19 inches in length, which is 2 inches less than 21 inches, which is my head circumference. So if you have a 21-inch head, this size will fit you as well. But if not, just go ahead and refer to the size chart so that you can see the length that you need for yours. But once you have that set, we're going to be ready to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut my yarn here. And then I'll just pull that through. Alright. So now we're going to be ready to put on our button. So I've threaded my needle. So you just want to lay it out and then fold over the strap to see where it matches in the middle. And then that way that'll help you center your button. So mine is folded nice and even. So I'm going to grab my button and just lay it right about there. And I just got my button right out of this pack here that I showed you in the materials. And I picked it up at Michael's. It's the Loops and Thread brand. You get about 105 pieces in here. And I thought they were really cute and fun. But any button will do. that you have on hand. Alright, so mine goes through the side. So just make sure you're attaching your button however you need it to go. And I'm just going to come up on the inside and go under and try to split the yarn so that it'll hold the button in place even better. So there we go. And see that splitting that yarn there? That'll just hold it in place even better. And I'm just going to go right through the button. Alright, and then I'm just going to pull it through, but I'm going to make sure I'm leaving myself a tail to weave in. And then I'm going to go down through and making sure I'm splitting the yarn as well. And then I'll split this yarn coming back through, and that'll just help to tighten it and lock it in place. Oh, I think I better change my button. My needle. The button is too small. It's not gonna let me put that needle in. Alright, so I have my smaller needle now. And let me just snug that down. And I'll just go back through with the smaller needle this time. That one was too big. Alright, this one's going through much better. Tighten that up. And then I'll just go down one more time, making sure to split that yarn. Here we go. And pull it through. Tighten it up. And then I'm just going to poke my tail right down through so that it'll be in place where I can weave it in. Alright, so now I have my button in place. And now you can just close it up through any of those holes there that it'll fit. You don't really have to make a buttonhole. So I just pull it right through the cable. And so now that button looks pretty cute. So now I'm just going to weave in my ends, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I come back. Alright, so here is the finished Bun Catcher headband with my ends all woven in. And this is what it looks like from the top. Alright, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. And I thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks again for watching.